Today, I wanted to talk about how to spot sustainability practices at hotels in Japan. There seems to be some progress in terms of sustainability measures. So as a user, as someone who's a guest at a hotel, what are some things that you can look for and you can ask about with the staff and you can write about in your reviews? And through that soft power the customer has, we can create positive change in the industry. They'll start to take notice. They love feedback and reviews. And if a hotel can stand out in a certain way because of the sustainability measures that they're putting into place, then we will create stronger, faster, more positive change. So I'm going to have to put on my glasses. If you have any questions anytime, please feel free to write them. I'll try to answer as I'm going. The first thing to look for is transparency. So do they do what they say? Do they say what they do? Right? Is a standard transparency policy. So a lot of hotels will have CSR pages. A lot of hotels will have information in the room promoting sustainability policies. So are they actually doing what they say they're doing? And do they do what they say? And a lot of problems with Japanese hotels is they're actually doing things that they're not publicizing. They're not talking about. And so even if they're doing sustainability things, they're not using it as part of their branding. So that's when asking more information about it from staff really helps to get a clearer sense of what the hotel is doing, how it's trying to be better. Of course, with some hotels, you have to be aware of greenwashing. So if they say they're a very sustainable or eco brand, you have to ask a little bit more questions, or you have to observe whether that is eco or sustainable, right? So can they explain their mission or their theme or their sustainability measures clearly enough? I was at a hotel recently in Tokyo. They were offering eco points, but it was very unclear how the guest would get eco points. I assume if they tell the staff that they don't need their room cleaned every day or they don't need new towels, but it wasn't laid out, it wasn't explained clear enough. So if you do have a sustainability policy, communication to the guest in a very clear and easy to understand way is really important from the hotel's perspective. And as a guest who's interested in sustainability, I'm always asking about how to do that or what kind of policy is this. Some things are very clear, easy to understand. One of the hotels I stayed at in Tokyo, they have a sign next to the toilet roll that says, "We are using the toilet roll until it's done. Please understand this is our policy to reduce waste." Great, clear. I can see the toilet roll is a bit less than full, and I understand the policy. It sounds good. Reducing waste is always good. I'm all for it, right? Some other transparency issues that could be cleared up is if the hotel book, always in the room, they have a book with information, or some hotels like the hotel not in Shinjuku, Tokyo, they explain about their farm to table policy. So they get natural organic vegetables from nearby farms, and they're using that in their restaurants and eateries in the hotel. So that's very easy to understand. I can check it very easily. I can go online. I can read about the Ome farm. I can learn what kind of farm it is. So that's all part of transparency. If you have good hotel policies which are transparent, the guest can trust you more. The guest can become more loyal. I know in my case, certainly, if it's a very transparent policy and it seems like the management is trying to be more sustainable, I certainly promote them, and I'm more loyal, more likely to use that hotel again. The second big thing to think about is to, of course, as a guest, observe, spot the waste. What I always look for is reusable. In the bathrooms now, in most hotels in Japan, they are using reusable shampoo, reusable conditioner, reusable body soap, reusable face soap containers, right? The containers should be the reusable type. They're refilled before each guest comes in. That's the better way to do it. The old style is using the small containers, all the single-use plastic containers. Even if you just use a little bit of a small container, it's not refilled, it's not reused. So that's very wasteful practice, and it's so good to see that most hotels in Japan are changing to the big reusable containers. And a nice thing about the reusable containers I've noticed is the quality is usually higher. So the quality of the shampoo is quite high. They're cutting costs because they don't have to buy all the single-use containers, and they don't have to dispose of all the single-use container waste. So they can spend a little bit more to make sure the shampoo quality or conditioner quality is a little bit higher. So it's better for the user because we're getting high quality product from reducing waste. So I always look for that. In the room, you can check when you go into the room, is the air conditioner on in summer? Is it full blast when you enter? When you leave the room, does it shut off automatically? Is it a smart room? A lot of hotels, because it's so hot, they'll just keep it running at full blast the whole time. And when you go in, you're like, oh, it's nice and cool, but kind of a waste. You know, the hotel room's not massive. Leaving it off or leaving it on low is fine. And when the guests go in, they can turn it up. The best way to save energy is, of course, to have smart rooms. So when the guest goes in, they put the key in the, whatever that is, they put the key in the holder, and immediately the electricity turns on in the room. When they take the key out, all the electricity turns off. So that smart room system certainly saves a lot of energy, which reduces costs for the hotel, but it also reduces waste. A lot of people say, well, why should I care about how much energy is being used at the hotel? Really, it's not just about what you pay and trying to get the most value. We should all try to reduce energy waste because it's all of our use, which creates pollution, creates global warming. So it's not just about your one experience in this building or in this room or in this hotel and get the most value from using the most. We should have that different mentality where we are concerned with waste because it affects us all. It's not just about your individual experience. I hope that makes sense. So I'm always looking for energy waste. Water waste is a big part of hotel waste in general. So are they using low flow toilets? Sometimes it's hard to tell. If you're not sure, please ask the staff. They should know. In the room also, is the shower like a low water, what is it called? Low flow toilets, low flow showers. So are the toilets more efficient in water use? There's a lot of water that is wasted from toilets in your house, in the hotel, and think of how many rooms in the hotel. Another way the hotel might be more sustainable with water is, are they using filtered, reusable bottles filled with water in your fridge or in your room instead of PET bottles? So basically anything reusable is better. In the buffet breakfast, are they using reusable containers with jam and butter? Or are they using small packets, single-use packets, single-use plastic? Reusable is always better. So always look around your room, look around the eateries, look around the breakfast buffet. If it's reusable, that means the hotel's more sustainable. They're trying, they're reducing costs, but they're also probably increasing the quality and probably thinking about waste and reducing their waste, which we want as guests. We want to encourage that. So another thing to look for if it's a smart room is the electricity being turned off when you're not in the room, for the air conditioner or heater in winter, and for the fridge. So check the fridge. Do they have the fridge on high when it's empty and not being used? That's crazy. It should be on low or it should be off. Some hotels, I saw the Daiwa Roynet Hotel. I was very impressed with some of their small measures that they did. For example, the fridge was off when I entered, and the switch for the fridge was on the outside of the fridge. And it very clearly said, if you'd like to use this fridge, please turn it on. That's great. Also, the hotel in Shinjuku, the Hotel Knot, they said, in the bathroom, I noticed it was very clear, like there was not the usual clutter. And then in the hotel book, it says if you want the extra amenities, sorry, like face pack or shower cap or disposable razor, that kind of stuff, please get it for free at the front desk. I thought, what a great initiative. They're reducing waste, but still providing the service for people that want to use that. So I bet they have a lot less single plastic waste because of that. So back to energy. So check the fridge. It should be off or on low. Check the air conditioner. It should be off or on low. So same idea, right? Also, maybe a little bit crazy, I don't know, but I checked the light bulbs. Are they eco-friendly, efficient light bulbs? It sounds crazy, right? And I know it's a lot of cost for hotels because they have so many light bulbs everywhere. But if they're using highly efficient light bulbs, that shows that they're willing to spend more to invest in reducing energy use and energy waste. And I was very impressed to find eco-friendly light bulbs in certain hotels. The bath, if the bath is really big, then they're going to waste more water, right? And if they have a great shower and a small bath, they're using less water. They're having less water waste. Another thing which I rarely see, but I'm so happy to see hotels that use a lot of plants. Are they using a water catchment system? Now, this is something you would probably have to ask the staff about. We have a water catchment system for our garden. So it just connects to the rain gutters, and then we use that rainwater to water the plants, which is actually, I've read, better for the plants, and it reduces our water bill, but also it reduces water waste and actually helps in areas where there's flooding and there's a lot of concrete. So the water being caught by plants, green roofs, that kind of system on a hotel, they're catching more water, so reducing the flooding in that area, but also they can reuse that water on plants or washing things outside. So if they have some kind of water catchment system or green roof or plants, that is a sustainability measure that you want to promote when you write your review or give feedback to the hotel. So I think I mentioned, but as users, when we write about these points of sustainability in our reviews on TripAdvisor, in our reviews on Google, we are helping to promote sustainability measures like this because we appreciate it. And one of the big excuses by hotel management, which I've talked to over the years, is customers don't care about that. Well, I think we do. We care. So we have to show them we care, give the feedback about this, and promote hotels that are doing these sustainability measures. And in that way, help move other hotels into more sustainability practices as well. The third point I think I would encourage all guests to do is, of course, engage with the staff and talk to the staff about any sustainability measures or any things that they might be doing, which is really difficult to see or difficult to notice just by observation, and maybe it's not in the material. For example, I had a nice chat with Mitsui Garden Hotel staff, and I would never have found out that they are using more efficient laundry machines. They're part of a group which helps preserve the forest. So part of their profits goes to reforestation projects around Japan. If you don't ask the staff these questions, what is your hotel doing in terms of sustainability? Do you have any renewable energy that you're using? Do you have any certifications from third party about efficiency or LED certifications or any kind of third party certification about sustainability in any way? CSR, corporate social responsibility, is often on the websites, but for small hotels, you might not see that. But even if they don't brand themselves or market themselves in terms of CSR, they might be doing things which are considered CSR or SDG, sustainable development goals, which is set by the United Nations. It's part of the G20 targets. It's part of all government campaigns. They're all talking about SDGs, sustainable development goals. So are you reducing water? Are you helping the community? These are all parts of the sustainability development goals, and they're often promoted through the website CSR page. Corporate social responsibility. Sorry, too many acronyms. So if the hotel has, for example, a water refillable station and they have reusable water bottles in the room, that connects to SDG targets. It connects to CSR because they're reducing plastic waste. Plastic is a really big problem. They're providing public service. There is a great organization called MyMizu right now. They're trying to make an app which lists all the public access to drinking water. So people can take their refillable Suitos, their water bottles, and refill at different locations around Japan. All hotels, everywhere, if you're listening, please put a water jug in your lobby and allow people to refill their water bottles, whether they're from the public or guests at your hotel, at least guests at your hotel. And that will reduce plastic waste, but also provide a great public service. So many people are getting dehydrated and overheated in Japan right now, all over the world. So please provide public access to drinking water. I've met so many tourists who go and fill up their water bottles in the toilets. It's just not nice. It's even if it's the same water, even if it's from the tap, add a few ice cubes, make ice water. What a great omotenashi customer service, please do it. Talking to staff. Now, the attitude from staff can give you a big hint about what kind of training they do with the staff in terms of sustainability. So if the staff is walking around the hotel, maybe picking up garbage, maybe turning off lights if there's some where not being used, if the hotel lobby toilet lights, for example, has a dimmer and you walk in and it gets more bright, that's also an efficiency sustainability measure. But if it doesn't, and you have staff going in, turning off the lights if it's not being used, that means the staff is being trained to watch out for waste and trying to save energy, trying to reduce waste. That's good. Also, when you ask your questions to the staff, if they say, I don't know, and that's it, they're not willing to research or ask or investigate for you, that probably means they're not trained very well. They're not trained to think about sustainability, to be interested in sustainability. Of course, as staff, maybe they don't really care about sustainability, but if they help with sustainability measures, reducing waste, that also reduces costs, that helps the hotel, that helps keep their job, right? So it is self-serving. In that way, it would secure your career or your job. I've had fantastic staff who have taken my question, said just a moment, and researched it on their computer or called somebody. That is a well-trained staff, right? That is someone who is encouraged by management to go the extra step and help the customer get the information they need. Where's a good place to go for a walk around here? If they go and research it, if they don't know, or if they have a map there and they let you know, that's added value to your hotel experience. That's good customer service. That's omotenashi, right? So watching the staff, engaging with staff is all a great way to check sustainability. Write that in your feedback, write that in your review. That is a key part of good hotel practices. Spot the waste, do observations of water waste, energy waste, reusable containers at the hotel, in your room, around the hotel. Always check that. And transparency. How do they communicate their sustainability measures? How do they help the guests understand about their sustainability measures and how they're carrying it out and why they're doing it, right? So those three things, transparency, observation, spotting the waste, talking to staff, those are three ways that guests, hotel guests, can engage with a hotel, really get the right information and add it to your review and really change the hotel industry and push it a little bit gently in the right direction to be a more sustainable industry in Japan. So we can do it. Thank you for listening. And if you have any questions, I didn't see any questions while I was talking, but if you have any questions, please write them below. And of course, please subscribe. Thank you very much. I appreciate 88 followers right now. Really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. See you later.